Stabilize!
Out of the frying pan, Access denied. Next on the agenda... I can fix this!
Solidify!
Born of ice and frost.
Gather!
Nice and Next on the agenda... Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Anything the knights can do for you?
Next on the agenda...
Let's light it up!
This isn't good. Finally, some quiet.
Crisp.
Solidify!
Teamwork is true! Boba, get them! No touching! Ah, the air is just right. We're way behind schedule.
Add Ash. Thank you for Add Astra.
Jumpy Dumpty go! Woo! La la la! Boing boing boom! Woo! Yeah! La la la! Woo! Ah! Hi! Yeah! Boom! Yeah! Steady as stone! Jumpy Dumpty go! Ah! Leave it all to me. Sparks and splash! Let the show begin.
Wind Strider! fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Come on, we can do it! On Inazuma. So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely made some. So, where should we go today? Huh? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all. Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait! Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of...
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animal. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here? Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him it, right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able to beat him. Anyway, just to be on the safe side. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond already? Yeah, maybe a little. Anyway, there's no time to look. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
Sorry. I need to think about it.
You can't find a better deal anywhere else.
Inazuma's cooking. I'm not used to it at all.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Sorry. I need to think about it.
Ores and jewelry from Liu. You can't find a better deal anywhere else.
Inazuma's cooking. I'm not used to it at all.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Ores and jewelry from Liu. You can't find a better deal anywhere else.
Inazuma's cooking.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord
Sorry.
Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Ores and jewelry from Liu.
It's so nice to de-stress.
Inazuma's cooking. I'm not used to it at all.
Blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now.
Next on the agenda...
Hey! Hello?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor... If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time.
Oh!
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
Everyone back home is still okay.
Thank you! Guess
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaedahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaedahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaedahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaedahara, but there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaedahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaedahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas will be bladesmiths once more. And your wanderer, you will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat form. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity...
All the more reason to watch your back!
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter. I will first join the Traveler and...
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say. There, we'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around...
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently at...
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are... To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to... Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa!
Please, accept my thanks.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect...
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other... The Tenryou Commission had very few leads.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But if anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll...
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told...
You are much too humble. Don't worry. Oh, actually, let me tell you about it.
Sure. During time...
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma? Now there's...
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the...
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man...
Sure, can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation.
way behind schedule.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Huh. Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry, you have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Okay. Unrelenting patience and willpower to move mountains.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Okay. Unrelenting patience and willpower to move mountains.
It's so nice to de-stress. Next on the agenda...
Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some. Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some. Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some. Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Ame no Mayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Ame no Mayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. What started as a disagreement over the price escalated and ultimately turned into a tragedy. However, if this is in one fact, Mr. Nugget, the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frames, Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker. Namely, the—
Darn! We thought...
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Sakoku decree, the Vision Hump decree. What could be next?
The sound of snow. The waves rise.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
As one travels the world, sorrows and frustrations are bound to journey with you. But I find that I've grown since meeting you, both in martial arts and in...
so nice to de-stress. This time it turned out better than before. If you like.
Sounds good to me. Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left it. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed. But this unexpected... We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has... Judging from the concentration, I would have to...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around...
It could well be that he was already under the influence of From what I've been told, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than... Huh.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy's source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you, too, will perceive its ominous presence in the wind. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. Time to go. Time to go. From this point, the trail appeared. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here and seems to be dissipating slowly.
Into the wind.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
No touching!
Stabilize!
Venture! One with nature.
Healthy bu-
It...
Ugh! Look at this red stuff!
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. Well, let's take a look. According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Naga.
So...
He was not only whatever traces there may have been of his... Yes. Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest... All the clues that at first seemed disparate, and I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct...
Wait! You've...
I believe so. On with the search. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is... What's your problem, huh?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it... Whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and or rather as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced. Many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, It culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of... In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement.
So, swords can become conscious?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and will... After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the... I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might of Ishin art!
Ah, so Amenoma Yuya was not... Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden. Now. Gather!
Everybody stand back!
Shall rewrite history!
Born of ice and frost.
Join me and sever that divine light!
Wind strike!
Rewrite history! Solidify!
Let's light it up!
Born of ice and frost.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one!
Lost. I can never lose. It is... Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but he is but a puppet that can... The end result is the same! I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger! And even if I were to lose my physical form, it by any means necessary, and any...
Your fighting style. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a...
Really?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the... Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art's secrets. The little that you... In that regard, why would...
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed... Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without...
Oh, that's right!
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his... Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to... I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this?
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, even if you were to sever that divine light, Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshuka.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
All right. Please lead the way.
What about Amano Mayuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine.
Time to go. Leave everything on this journey to me.
How's this?
Clouds high. The birds call. Wind strike.
Finally high. To the very high. To the very...
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade, though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think...
Something else on...
How strange. Let's keep going.
my lucky day!
Wind strike!
Time to go.
Boom! How's this?
It's my lucky day.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Finally, the fairy.
Whoa! Something's up with the...
I can sense that his strength is slowly He cannot hold out much longer.
But... what?
I will be careful with it. He's still
Cheap tricks. Fall before me.
Clouds high, the birds call! That hurts!
Cut down.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to... Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition... I've finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of... But regrettably, we are nothing alike. The only one who...
Huh?
There they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep... Yup! We...
Don't worry. I'll use... It's just more...
Let's get down to business!
Take this! Get over!
Wind strike!
The fairy will end you!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Cut down! Like this.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my I thought that if I could achieve Ishin...
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter too much time has passed. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue. Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a skill, blade, determination, and desire. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have Tatarigami as a malevolence from the ancient past, it is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for... The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost... You have known this for a long time. It is the true source.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, do not... How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow, that was the blade's memory. What?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being true.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. He seems to have calmed down.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition,
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Amenoma Yuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again, nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey, the next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryu Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention.
All right, then let's move. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Time to go.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Club. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art.
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor.
Time to Time to go. As one with wind and cloud.
Thank you for the... Although he appears battered and broken, in your hand, his sense of savage cruelty has...
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you.
I must apologize.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks...
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls... Considering... But I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bantan Sangha...
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded. And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control.
What? No way!
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that I have decided...
But... he...
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us...
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness.
future!
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded.
Seems like he...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward. Also, speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sun, your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanome Yuya should conclude soon.
Wow! You sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please, take a look at this blade.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I...
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel Has...
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
This is how it... Let me scry. Delve into destiny. No touching. Adventure time. Shadows of fate. I'm going in.
Clouds high. The birds
Decided by destiny. For Rex Lapis.
Next on the agenda.
Another problem. That seemed to work.
We're way behind.
Harden up, so quiet.
Time to go.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Adventure time. Adorn my night. Wind strike.
Screw you! Looks like I went too far.
We're way behind schedule.
Let's not waste time. Let's end this quickly. I will end you.
Windstrike! Now you shall perish!
We're way behind.
Windstrike!
This is bad. I guess.
Adventure time!
This is it.
Time to go.
Let's light it up!
Windstrike!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
I got carried.
Trouble's coming.
Windstrike!
Let's light it up!
Replace my hammer.
Picked
Time to go.
the wrong test subject.